Hello, I'm King Ross, you're my loyal subjects. It's that bastard time of the week once again where I take a look at all the WTF moments from a very monumental WWE SmackDown Live for the second day in a row, just to prove I am a 5-second hoser. Here we go. And we kick things off with Tom Phillips, who claims that Jinder Mahal versus John Cena is the single biggest match in the history of WWE SmackDown Live, a couple of weeks after John Cena took on Nakamura in a match that I'm sure you will agree is very much bigger than Jinder versus Cena. Nakamura, Jinder. Nakamura, Jinder. That's not to mention the great matches from years gone by that far supersede Jinder Mahal versus John Cena. You've got Hulk Hogan versus Brock Lesnar, even CM Punk versus Jeff Hardy. You've got Triple H versus The Rock. You've got Eddie Guerrero doing the graps with many a great wrestler, and that's not to mention the piece de resistance, in my opinion, Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, Iron Man match. Tom Phillips claiming this is the biggest match in SmackDown history. It's just like somebody with a weenie do claiming they are hung like Hangman Page. Jinder Mahal still calling everyone xenophobic, even though he's in a rivalry with Shinsuke Nakamura, whose mere presence within WWE and the reaction he gets from the crowd disproves everything that Jinder talks about when it relates to him and xenophobic behaviour. And then he goes on to call Americans jingoistic as if he isn't jingoistic himself. Bloody hell, slap my arse and call me Betty. He's the single jingoistic superstar we've seen since Jingo is his bastard name. Oh, what? I do just hope this is WWE realising they have absolutely shafted themselves with this Jinder Mahal shtick coming out of his useless gob, and they're just going to keep flowing with it in the hope that nobody realises what a load of trash it is. Dumpster fire. It's a shame I do what I do for a living. Didn't you feel sorry for that little old lady? She was only there to sing the national anthem. She was so canny, she did a good job. Her pipes were fire. Yet you, Marks, fell right into WWE's trap. You booed her out of the building and validated their call to have this outdated shtick on our television shows in 2017. Oh, come on now, grow up, do not take their bait and stop being massive fish. Shinsuke Nax with a gimmick infringement ting, singing like only Aiden English can, and in a fashion that made him sound like he was singing happy bloody birthday to himself. Again, the point stands, and Road Dogg, I'm looking at you, pal, since everything bad that happens in wrestling is your bloody fault. You do not need to have Shinsuke Nakamura talk. The mystique of the man is enough to get him over the hill. Not over the hill, just over. Yeah. It's John O'Clock, motherfuckers! Yeah. Here's a direct quote from John. If Nakamura wants to take that title, well, he's gonna have to take it. Well, no. Pooh. Sherlock, thanks for that one. Back to Tom Phillips and his overhyping of the John Cena Jinder Mahal match once again, and he's moved from it being the biggest match in SmackDown history to it being one of the most significant matches in SmackDown history, even though there's absolutely diddly squat on the line. I bet there's been over 100 championship matches with more significance than this single match where nothing's on the line. I bet there have been a plethora, a catalogue of matches where there's been stipulations that affects the entire landscape of WWE, on top of this match, which has absolutely none and means nothing other than pride. And who the hell cares about pride? Derby County, Pride Park. Over the past 18 years, there's absolutely no doubt there's been a hell of a lot more matches with more on the line than just these two jingoistic, sweaty bastards going at it for the crack. When the hell did Naomi turn into the Sultan? Where the hell's your tongue, son? When you're brought down on commentary as a guest to talk, why don't you talk? When JBL asks you a long-winded question, don't just reply with something along the lines of, yes! You should be using your minutes more, pal. Get yourself over. What you did there on SmackDown last night made you sound like you're muted. Didn't get you over one iota, you silly willy. Back with Tom Phillips once again, and this time he claims that since his return, my bear, my spirit animal, Ruru, has had a strategy. Hi, he did have one. He had a very good one. As you might remember, he gave an ultimatum to Shane McMahon. If Shane McMahon didn't give him a championship match at Money in the Bank, Ruru would walk away. However, WWE banked on the fact that you're a bunch of thick, sweaty marks, so they canned that idea with absolutely no reason behind it. What's up with that? Now he's been shunted into a match with Randy Orton. That means absolutely nothing. Sound strategy that, Tom. It's almost as bad as your strategy to woo a lady over Instagram with your hard penis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How quick was that 10 count, referee? That 10 count in the Ruru Chad Gable match could have bloody fit in to a 2 count. It's John O'Clock, everybody. This time JBL claims that SummerSlam kickoff show host Jerry the Fake King Lawler and Lita will be joined by an all-star cast, even though there is a huge picture of the lovely Renee Young right there on the screen. When Renee's face is there, she's always the host because she is bloody brilliant at her job, John, and you never forget that, you bitch. Lita, on the other hand, and I have this opinion from her stuttering appearances on the NXT TakeOver pre-shows, not so much. She's really bad at her job, and I can't wait to see her butcher the Mae Young Classic with JR. To pick Lita over Renee would be an insult to anybody with ears, and that is everybody in the bloody world apart from Michael Ehrlich from Morpeth Town. Look, it's that blonde dick from WWE Raw, you know, the one that got struck in the back by Braun Strowman and should have gone down, but he went up. He's the clown that didn't understand physics. I ranted about this self-centered prick on yesterday's WTF moment, so if you want to see that, there it is. But this is certainly a WTF moment from SmackDown Live because I am shook at the fact that they would give this plank more television time after what he did on WWE Raw. I'm sure I'm not the only one that thinks this. He should be thrown into a bloody chest and carted all the way back to wrestling school. Because I'm worth it. I know I go around saying that Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men, but bugger me, Shane, do not think that sweating that much live on television will get you any further into your father's affections. I assume that Shane McMahon is trying to get into his daddy Kim's heart once again because he had sweat droplets on his face the size of bastard lady balls. And let me tell you, there was no right for him to have lady ball sized droplets on his face because all he was doing was standing there and talking. I mean, if he's like that when he stood still on national television, I cannot imagine the plight of his face when a helicopter was spiralling out of the bastard air. One more culture sign. Sorry lads, but when that dad Shane McMahon is threatening AJ Styles, saying, you know, if AJ puts his hands on him, he'll have no issue putting his hands all over him, I do not. I refuse to. I just don't buy it. Somehow in 2017, Shane McMahon is a middle-aged, grey, sweaty, wedding dancing dad who can somehow go hold for hold with Shane McMahon, strike for strike with Undertaker, stand up to Brock Lesnar at last year's SummerSlam, fall out of the sky and survive, and now threaten AJ Styles and Kevin Owens, two world-class wrestlers in their own right, with beatdowns as if AJ Styles and Kevin Owens are little children back in the day when the strap at school was a thing. Coincidentally enough, however, the strap in schools is still a thing in Sunderland. A place that is 54 years behind everywhere else in humanity. And speaking about Kevin Owens, he claimed that last week's SmackDown Live happened on a Thursday. So much as send him to see Craig David. Tom Phillips back again, this time fornicating the poo out of yet another line on commentary when he claimed that a Kevin Owens big boot to the sweaty face of Shane McMahon, a one that he clearly didn't mean to hit. He aimed for AJ, AJ dropped down, Shane was there, Shane took the punch. Well, Tom claimed that it didn't look like involuntary contact from KO, even though, as I've just explained, it very much clearly was. He set out for one target and hit another one that he didn't mean to hit. That means it's an advertent and anything but involuntary. So if you're the Usos, you have been told that you're going to face Big E and Xavier Woods for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships at SummerSlam. So a few days before, why on earth would you request a tag team match with Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston when you're not going to be facing Kofi Kingston on the weekend? Surely you want to face the people you faced on the weekend as a warm-up so you can see exactly what they're about, not what they might be about by facing half the team. Unless, of course, their intention was to injure Kofi Kingston on the outside of the ring to make it a 2-on-2 fang. But they didn't really do that, did they? Yes, they chop-blocked the knee, but they didn't take it any further, so presumably Kofi will be at ringside. That match on SmackDown was an absolute waste of time. Marty Jannetty for Hall of Fame 2018 signing. You chalk on, will you? Byron Saxton this time, who is anything but an insider, crediting Usos for targeting the knee of Kofi Kingston, which apparently made Kofi vulnerable to this. a double super kick to the jaw. Obviously the saying goes that you don't know your arse from your elbow, but it's clear that this clown does not know the difference between his knee and his jaw, or where the bloody hell he is on God's green earth, the air-headed fool numpty. SmackDown goes off the air for a second. Why?
There's nothing else to say. A total eclipse of the teeth.
Yes, that's right. Kevin Dunn's teeth, total eclipse of the satellite signal. It happened again. I'm not sure if this just happened on the version I was watching, but when Baron Corbin, after he decked John Cena, was walking back up the ramp before he cashed in, it went off the air again. Why?
Whether a long-range weapon or suicide bomber, Kevin Dunn's teeth is a weapon of mass destruction.
If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I wouldn't have gone after Cena, I would have made him to pay. Oh, I've done a whoopsie.
Who would have thought that Big Davey Meltzer had such stroke within WWE these days? I'm not saying that Baron Corbin getting on the wrong side of Big Muscular David over the weekend and then him losing his Money in the Bank briefcase a few days later are linked, but that's exactly what I'm bloody saying. I'm not really. But in the process, how stupid did they make Baron Corbin look immediately after the bell rung? Why would he be heading for John Cena when Jinder Mahal was there and for the taking with the championship on the line? What's Cena got to do with anything? Ah yes, let me tell you, I reckon they have sacrificed Baron's Money in the Bank briefcase just to make the match with John Cena on Sunday mean a little bit more, even though the briefcase means a hell of a lot more to all of us. Of course, heading into the pay-per-view, Baron potentially cashing in is one of the things that hooks you in. You want to see, will he or won't he? Will Shinsuke Nax win the championship? And will Baron get a mountain if he put on top of him by cashing in straight away? We wanted to know that. That's one of the key questions heading into the bloody thing, and now that's gone. Silly, 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 silly. So yes, that match now means no more than it did with Baron with the briefcase, and as for that roll-up, I think the bloody fruity variety are a lot bloody stronger. It was a bloody mess, wasn't it, Jinder, you silly willy? So now we have Dave Meltzer with a smile on his face, presumably. We have Baron Corbin with a lot of egg on his face, and now we have Damien Sandow. I'm not the worst anymore. Damien Sandow. So that wasn't very PG, was it? And that is it for your WTF Moments from WWE SmackDown Live. I've been King Ross, you've been my lost subjects, and I'll see you soon.